Hello scholars, welcome to Dakshina classroom. Until now, we have talked about different atomic models. There was J.J. Thomson model. Before that, there was Dalton's model. After that, it came Rutherford's model, then Bohr's model. So until now, we have talked about different atomic models and how they described atomic structure. So after Rutherford discovered that there is something very tiny particle at the center of the atom which is called nucleus. And he also told us that this tiny particle has almost all of the mass of the atom and that particle has positive charge. His observations were due to alpha particle experiment. Now, so until now we just know that there is something called nucleus. We don't know much about the nucleus in detail. So in today's lecture, we will talk about nucleus in detail. We will talk about the internal structure of nucleus. So this lecture, it will be a very basic lecture and you might have studied a lot of these topics in maybe chemistry or before. So don't worry, it is a very basic lecture. Take it as a revision. So let's first take a look at what are the subtopics which we'll cover in today's lecture. So first topic which we will cover is composition of nucleus, what this nucleus is made of, shape of the nucleus, it is what shape, size of the nucleus, what is the size, radius and etc. And then we will see density of the nucleus, how dense this material is. Remember, according to Rutherford, it is a very tiny particle, size almost 10 to the power 5 times smaller than atom, and it has almost all of the mass of the atom according to Rutherford. So this must be very dense. So first topic which will cover composition, shape, size and density of our nucleus. Second subtopic which we will cover is what is your atomic mass or mass number. We will see atomic mass, mass number and atomic number. These three things we will cover under second topic. And the third topic which we will cover is isotopes, isobars and isotones. So this will be a very small lecture. So first let us talk about what our nucleus is made of. Now until Rutherford, there was no nuclear composition, there was no internal structure of nucleus. But after performing a lot of experiments, scientists came to know that inside the nucleus also there are mainly two kinds of particles. So when you talk about composition of nucleus, so in nucleus there are basically two kinds of particles. One is proton and another is neutron. We will come to that, what are protons and neutrons. You most probably already know it, no problem. So nucleus is made up of protons plus neutrons. Now what are these protons and neutrons? So proton is a charged particle. What is proton? Proton is your charged particle. Now when you say that proton is a charged particle, immediate question should be how much charge? How much charge a proton has? So a proton has a charge equal to and opposite, equal in magnitude, opposite in sign to that of electron. How much charge is on electron? You should remember that by now. 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So on an electron, it is minus charge, minus coulomb. On proton, it is plus E, positive. which is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So only difference is on electron it is negative, on proton it is positive. The magnitude is exactly same. Now what is the mass of a proton? So mass of a proton is written as 1.6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Now there is another unit, atomic mass unit, we will not go into that. So 1.6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg, that is mass of your one proton. Now what about neutron? What about neutron? While a proton is a charged particle, a neutron has no charge. There is no charge on a neutron. It is a neutral particle. You can remember neutron, neutral rhymes. So it is a neutral particle. No charge. Zero. Now, if charge is zero, what is mass of the neutron? Do they have same mass or different mass? So, mass of the neutron is 1.6749 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Now, when you solve questions, a lot of questions when you solve, most of the time we take mass of proton and mass of neutron to be same, because this is 1.6726 and this is 1.6749. So there is very slightly different. Mass of neutron is very slightly greater than mass of proton. When we go into radioactivity, we will see there is significance of this. But while solving numericals, unless and until otherwise given that take both mass different, for all the practical purposes, for all the general calculations, for general calculation you can take both masses, mass of proton, mass of neutron to be same. But if it is explicitly written that take proton this mass and neutron this mass, then you have to take different mass. Otherwise, for general purpose, you can take both masses to be same. Now let us talk about the shape of your nucleus. So here it is shape. Now, when you talk about shape of the nucleus, there are a lot of experiments done to determine the shape of the nucleus. We need not talk about what are those experiments. So when you talk about shape, shape is overall your spherical shape. Now why I am saying overall shape? There are some deviation in the shape of the nucleus. It is not exactly a sphere, but overall you can take it as a sphere. So what I will write? That overall shape of nucleus is considered to be spherical. There might be slight variations. For example, when you talk about shape of the earth, so overall you take sphere, but you know that on poles its radius is slightly less, around 27 kilometers. But overall we take as spherical. In the same way, overall shape of the nucleus is considered to be spherical. A little bit variation can be there, but we will take spherical. Now if shape is spherical, what should be the size? What should be the size of the nucleus? Now, what do you mean by size? When we talk about size of the nucleus, we want to know how much bigger that sphere is. That spherical shape, how large it is. Now remember, it is 10 to the power 5 times smaller than atom. But we don't know how much that is. So let us talk about what is the radius of the nucleus. So when you say size, you can write volume. Volume is how much? 4 by 3 pi radius of the nucleus cube. And from the experimental analysis, we came to know that size of the nucleus. Suppose, for example, you take hydrogen atom, you take carbon atom, you take oxygen atom. So it is known that heavier the nucleus is. For example, carbon atom is heavier than hydrogen. So carbon nucleus will be greater in size than hydrogen. Now, so how do we know? Now remember, we talked about that nucleus is made up of proton plus neutrons. Now if I add the number of proton plus number of neutrons, that is known as mass number. So the more the mass number is, what is proton plus neutrons? Proton plus neutrons are collectively called nucleons also, because they are the particles of nucleus. So size of the nucleus depends upon how many number of protons plus neutrons are present inside the nucleus. And the number of protons plus neutrons, that is called mass number. So we will say size, volume will be proportional to A. A is what? A is mass number. And what is mass number? Number of protons plus number of neutrons, which is equal to number of nucleons. Protons plus neutrons are collectively called nucleons. So size of the nucleus will be proportional to what is the number of nucleons. More the number of nucleons, more will be size of your nucleus. Now, so here this is constant, 4 by 3 pi is a constant. So I can also write it as r cube is proportional to A, which can also be written as r is proportional to A to the power 1 by 3. And from the experimental analysis, we came to know that r can be written as equal to r naught A to the power 1 by 3, where r naught is your constant. What is that constant? R naught is 1.1 into minus 15 Fermi, not minus 15 Fermi meter, 10 to the power minus 15 meter, or you can also write it as 1.1 Fermi meter. So 1 Fermi meter is 10 to the power minus 15 meter. So that is your R naught. That is a constant. So R naught is a constant for all the nucleus. Let it be hydrogen, let it be carbon, let it be oxygen, let it be nitrogen, let it be any nucleus. That R naught will be constant. In some books, this is also written as 1.2. Okay, but I have taken from Assi Verma, so that is can be 1.1 into 10 power minus 15. Now R is equal to R naught this will be your size of the nucleus, where A is your mass number. What is mass number? Number of protons plus number of neutrons inside the nucleus. What is that? That is number of nucleons. What are nucleons? Nucleons is nothing but collective name of protons plus neutrons. Now let us talk about what could be the density of your nucleus. So density of your nucleus. Density you can also write as rho. Now what is density? Density is your total mass of the nucleus divided by volume of the nucleus. Now what can be the mass of the nucleus? Now remember, we have talked about mass number A. What is mass number? Mass number is number of proton plus neutrons. So overall your nucleus is made up of only protons and neutrons. There are some other particles, but we will not talk about them. They are not relevant to our course. So mass number A, that is number of particles inside the nucleus. And if I multiply number of particles with mass of one particle, that will give me total mass of the nucleus. And as we have studied earlier, that for general calculation, remember we talked about that mass of proton is different from mass of neutron. So which mass you are going to multiply? So for all the general purposes, we can take mass of proton and mass of neutron to be same. So for normal calculation, you can take both to be same, unless and until explicitly it is given that take differently, you can take same. So I will say mass number A, which is what? Number of nucleons multiplied by mass of one nucleon divided by volume. So it is total mass divided by total volume, that is your density. Now let us see what is this is how much. So mass number multiplied by mass, which can be written as 1.67. Remember for proton it is 6726, for neutron it is 6749. So let us say we write it as 673 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg divided by volume. If you remember, radius of our nucleus was how much? R naught A to the power 1 by 3, where A was your mass number. So radius cube. So R naught A to the power 1 by 3 whole power 3. Now if you pay attention here, A to the power 1 by 3 whole power 3, this will become A, and A will cancel out. So you will get how much? Let us write here. So you will get here density equals mass number times 1.673 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by 4 by 3 pi R naught cube A. Here this A and this A will cancel out, both are mass number. You will get 3 times 1.673 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by 4 pi. And what was R naught? R naught was 1.1 Fermi meter. Fermi meter is how much? 10 to the power minus 15. So this will be 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter cube. When you solve this entire, you will get approximately 3 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. That's how dense your nucleus is. Now, if you want to compare how dense this is, then compare with water. Now, what is the density of water? Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube, 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. And what is density of nucleus? 3 into 10 to the power 17. So nucleus is 10 to the power 14 times dense than your water. So if somebody asks, if there is a question, tell the specific gravity of nucleus. Now what is specific gravity? Remember, specific gravity is density of your material, whichever you are talking about. Specific gravity is not gravity. So specific gravity is density of the material divided by density of water. So this is density of material divided by density of water is how much? 10 to the power 3. So specific gravity of nucleus will be how much? 3 into 10 to the power 14 times, that will be specific gravity. So let us try to solve few questions based on what we have studied till now. One question is, so a neutron star has density equal to that of nuclear matter. So density of neutron star is same as that of nucleus. Now find its radius if its mass is 4 into 10 power 30 kg. Now if you remember, radius of the nucleus we have studied, but this is your neutron star. So neutron star density. Now what was density of your nuclear matter? If you remember, density of nuclear matter was 3 into 1.673, 3 into mass of a proton into 10 to the power minus 27 kg divided by 4 pi r naught cube. Now that was your density of a nucleus. Now it came out to be how much? It came out to be approximately 3 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. Now, so if the density of neutron star is same as that of nucleus, and what is density? Density is nothing but mass divided by volume. Now, so mass divided by volume, when you write, so rho is this much. So 3 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube, which will be equal to mass. What is mass? 4 into 10 to the power 30. 4 into 10 to the power 30 divided by volume. What is volume? 4 by 3 pi, because they are asking radius. So I am assuming that it to be spherical shape. So 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now you cancel 4 and you cancel. So when you solve, radius will come out to be approximately 15 into 10 to the power 3 meter. So that is around 15 kilometer. And if you look it up, this mass 4 into 10 to the power 30 kg, this mass is around twice that of our sun. So our sun's mass is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kg. So see, a neutron star, how dense this is. It has mass double that of our sun, but its radius is how much? Just 15 into 10 to the power 3 meter, just 15 kilometers. So that's how dense this nucleus is. Now one comparison, when we talk about size of the nucleus, that is 10 to the power 5 times smaller, you may not be able to visualize. So the most easy visualization is that all of you have seen a cricket stadium, at least if in TV. If you have not seen in real, then you must have seen in television. So if you take a cricket stadium to be your atom, that is the size of atom, then a sand particle, a particle of sand at the center of the stadium, at the pitch, that is your nucleus. So that's how small your nucleus is compared to your cricket stadium, and that's how dense that nucleus is. So in that tiny particle, all of the mass of the atom is compressed, filled. So let us solve one more question. Very simple. What is it? Calculate radius of aluminum nucleus. Now, what is the mass number for aluminum nucleus? Mass number is 27. So, what is mass number? Mass number is number of protons plus number of neutrons. And protons and neutrons are also collectively called nucleons. So, what you will write? Radius equals r naught a to the power 1 by 3. So, a is your mass number. And r naught is a constant which is same for every element. Let it be hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, aluminum, uranium, anything. R naught is a constant. So radius of the nucleus will be R equals R naught. What is R naught? 1.1 Fermi meter. And how much is a Fermi meter? 10 to the power minus 15 meter. So into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Mass number. What is mass number of nucleus? 27. Power 1 by 3. So R equals 1.1 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 15. So that is 3.3 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Or you can write it as 3.3 Fermi meter. So this is how small your aluminum nucleus is. Now let us talk about atomic number, atomic mass and mass number. Now some of you might be thinking, sir, I already know this, why you are telling? No problem, consider this as a revision. From next lecture we will cover topics which you will not say that I already know this. Okay, so first, atomic number. What is your atomic number? Now you might have already studied that in a hydrogen atom there is one proton. In a helium atom there is two protons. In a lithium atom there is three protons, and so on. So the number of protons in a nucleus is a characteristics of that element. What does that mean? Meaning, if you take a hydrogen atom, no matter what source you take your atom from, the number of protons in the nucleus of the hydrogen atom will always be same. And same goes for your helium. If you take a helium atom, then no matter from where you take that helium atom, number of protons in the nucleus of helium atom will always be 2. It can never be 3. If the proton becomes 3, it is no longer a helium atom. Now it is a lithium atom. So what is atomic number? Atomic number is nothing but number of protons in the nucleus of given element. And for a given element, for example, let's take carbon. So for carbon, your atomic number, how many protons are there in the carbon? 6 protons. So for carbon, always number of proton will be 6. So for a given element, atomic number is fixed. It cannot happen that you have 2 carbon samples. One have atomic number different, other has atomic number different. That cannot happen. So what you will write? It's constant for a given element. Meaning, if you change your atomic number, your element will also change. And symbol, how do you symbolize atomic number? So atomic number generally symbol used is Z. So atomic number generally Z. Z, and if you want to write, for example, for carbon you will write Z equals 6. So if it is written Z equals 6, so Z means atomic number. Z is written, you can take it as atomic number. They need not write that atomic number. They may just write Z equals 6. So you should immediately understand, okay, it is Z. Z is the symbol of atomic number. That means atomic number is given as 6. And you should remember, atomic number 6 means they are talking about carbon atom. Now we have already talked about mass number. What was your mass number? We already talked about what is mass number. Mass number is actually total number of nucleons. Number, yeah, right. Total number of nucleons. Now, what are nucleons? Protons and neutrons are collectively called nucleons. Meaning, mass number is number of protons plus number of neutrons. Now, what is the symbol of mass number? We have already used this. in order to find the radius of a nucleus. Radius of the nucleus depends upon what? Mass number. Remember, radius of the nucleus depends upon mass number, not atomic number. Same element. Now, what is the mass number? Mass number symbol is A, capital A. So, if it is written just capital A equals 10, then they need not write mass number is A. They will just write capital A equals 10. You should know they are talking about mass number, that is total number of nucleons. What is nucleons? Protons and neutrons. Now, what is atomic mass? What is your atomic mass? So, atomic mass will be, right now we studied about what is mass number. What mass number is? Number of protons plus number of neutrons. So, atomic mass will be your mass number A multiplied by, now if you are talking about atomic mass, that atomic mass gives you total mass of your atom. Now, in atom there are three main particles, that is electrons, protons and neutrons. Now, if you remember, mass of electron was how much? 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. And mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So, mass of protons and neutrons are 10 to the power 4 times greater than mass of electrons. So, when we talk about total mass of atom, mass of electron is so negligible, we generally ignore the mass of electrons while calculating atomic mass. So, we generally, in case of nuclear physics, we generally ignore the mass of electrons. Why we are ignoring? We are ignoring because mass of electron is very 10 to the power 4 times smaller than mass of protons and neutrons. So, atomic mass you can take as atomic mass number of nucleons. What is nucleons? Protons plus neutrons. So, mass number multiplied by 1 atomic mass unit or mass of proton. So, for now you can take general as same both. But what is 1 atomic mass unit? For now you can take 1 atomic mass unit is equal to mass of proton. But in chemistry you might have studied 1 atomic mass unit is 1 by 12th of carbon 12 atom. That is the scientific definition in chemistry. But here you can take 1 atomic mass unit is same as mass of proton. So, what is atomic mass? Atomic mass is mass number multiplied by 1 atomic mass unit. Or you can also write it as A times mass of proton. That will be your atomic mass. Now remember, there is a difference between atomic mass and mass number. What is mass number? Mass number is number of protons plus neutrons. And what is atomic mass? Atomic mass is mass number multiplied by mass of 1 proton or 1 atomic mass unit. So, there is a difference. Do not confuse between mass number and atomic mass. They are two very different things. Now that we know what is atomic number, what is mass number and what is atomic mass, let us see how do we represent our element. You might have studied this already in chemistry, but again, as I said, take this as a revision. So what is, for example, let us say I am trying to represent X element. It can be anything. So on the left side bottom, you will write Z. Z is your what? Atomic number. How many number of protons are there? And on the left upper side, you will write A. What is A? A is your mass number, not atomic mass. A is mass number. What is mass A? A is total number of protons plus neutrons. So here your A is mass number. Sometimes students get confused because from A they take atomic mass. No, A is not atomic mass. A is mass number. And what is Z? Z is number of protons. Now if somebody asks, okay, I will give you mass number and number of protons. Now tell me what are the number, how many neutrons are there. Now you know that A is nothing but mass number, and what is mass number? Number of protons plus neutrons. So you will write, okay sir, A equals Z, number of protons plus number of neutrons, like this. And if they are asking number of neutrons, what you can say? Number of neutrons is equal to A minus Z. What is A? Mass number. What is J? Atomic number. So that way you can calculate number of neutrons. For example, let us say I write oxygen 8, 17. Now oxygen atomic number 8. What is mass number? 17. And I ask, tell me number of neutrons. So when oxygen is written like this, left side corner, bottom corner, 8, Z. So Z equals 8, A equals 17. So neutrons will be how much? A minus Z, which is equal to 17 minus 8, that is 9. So in case of this oxygen, there are 8 protons and 9 neutrons. Now we will see why the number of protons and neutrons are different. We will come to that later. Now remember, we had talked about that number of protons in a given element's nucleus cannot vary. Meaning if I take my carbon sample from any source, does not matter which source I am taking my carbon sample, number of protons in the nucleus of carbon atoms will always remain 6. Now what about number of neutrons? Because a nucleus is made up of protons plus neutrons. So number of proton will be same for all the atoms of that element. Now what about number of neutrons? It so happens that number of neutrons can vary, meaning a carbon atom, if you take carbon atom from one source and if you take carbon atom from other source, it is possible that both carbon atoms have same number of protons but different number of neutrons. So that way, if two atoms of same element differ in the number of neutrons, how many number of neutrons they have, that type of atoms are called isotopes. Isotopes of same metal, same element actually. So what are the isotopes? Isotopes are atoms of same element, which differ. Now remember, if they are same element, protons can never be different. As soon as you say same element, now protons are same, fixed, which differ in number of neutrons. So if same element, then proton will always be same. Number of neutrons, that can vary. Now let us take an example. Now first example, hydrogen. Now hydrogen, always there will be 1. Atomic number of hydrogen will always be 1, meaning number of protons will always be 1. But number of neutrons can be different. There is one isotope of hydrogen which has 0 neutrons. There are no neutrons. Only one proton is there. So for that, atomic number and mass number both will be same. There is another kind of hydrogen atom, and since it is a hydrogen atom, atomic number will always be 1. But this hydrogen atom will have nucleus as 1 proton and 1 neutron. So what will be the mass number? Mass number will be 2. This is also sometimes called deuterium. It is very useful in atomic reactors. You will study later. And there is one more kind of hydrogen atom. Now, since it is a hydrogen atom, once again I am saying atomic number will remain same. Number of protons will remain same. Only number of neutrons can change. So here there are 0 neutrons, here 1 neutron, here 2 neutrons. So what will be the mass number? 1 proton plus 2 neutrons. So mass number will be 3. So that is your, so how many isotopes of hydrogen are there? There are 3 isotopes of hydrogen, meaning you can find 3 kinds of hydrogen atom. All 3 will have same atomic number, that is Z equals 1. But for them, mass number may vary. Mass number may be 1, 2, 3, because number of neutrons is different. Here 0 neutrons, here 1 neutron, here 2 neutrons. Let us take one more example. Let us take example of chlorine. Now chlorine, what is the atomic number of chlorine? You should remember, atomic number of chlorine is 17. So there are 17 protons. Now one chlorine is there whose mass number will be 35, meaning 17 protons and 35 minus 17, 18 neutrons. And there is one another kind of chlorine atom. One another kind of chlorine atom whose atomic number still will be same because it is same element. So 17, but mass number changes to 37. Meaning now how many neutrons are there? 37 minus 17, there are 20 neutrons. So both are chlorine atoms, but one has 18 neutron, one has 20 neutrons. So number of neutron changes in case of isotopes while atomic number remains same. Now in case of isotopes, what was the case? Atomic number was same, mass number was different. Now is it possible that mass number be same and atomic number be different? Now remember, it is not possible in the same element. Why? Because as soon as you change the atomic number, your element changes. So in the same element it is not possible. But what about different elements? So what is your isobars? So isobar will be, for example, if I take 2 different elements. One, let us say, we will come to the example, one is hydrogen and one is helium. So is it possible that atom of hydrogen and atom of helium, they both have same mass number but different atomic numbers? So that is possible. So what is possible here? What will be, you write the definition of isobars? So isobars will be atoms of different elements. Remember, in case of isotopes, it was same element. In case of isobars, it is different elements. So atoms of different elements which has same mass number. Same mass number. So let us take an example. better you understand through example. Let us write hydrogen tritium 1H3. So tritium hydrogen 1 is atomic number, 3 is your mass number. Now mass number 3 means 1 proton plus 2 neutrons. So is it possible that there is another element which has mass number to be 3? So there is again possible. You have helium. In case of helium, there is an isotope which has 2 protons and 1 neutrons. Remember, when we are talking about isobars, we are concerned with mass number as whole. We are looking at mass number. We are not looking at how many protons, how many neutrons and so on. No. What we are looking at, that mass number should be same. Now here is mass number 3. Here is mass number 3. We don't care anything else. We only want to know whether mass number is same or not. So if mass number is same and elements are different, here it is 1 proton, here it is 2 protons. So this is hydrogen, this is helium. So since mass number is same and protons are different, atomic numbers are different, these two will be called isobars. Now remember, you cannot say that hydrogen is an isobar of helium. Hydrogen is not an isobar of helium. This particular hydrogen isotope is an isobar of this particular isotope of helium. You cannot completely say that hydrogen is an isobar of helium. Now let us talk about what are isotones. So what are your isotones? Now in case of isotones, now remember, in case of isotopes, protons were same, neutrons were different. In case of isobars, mass number was same and protons, neutrons, they both are different. We don't care. We only care about mass number. In case of isotones, we want to know whether number of neutrons are same. Mass number can be different. Your atomic number can be different. Number of neutrons should be same. So if number of neutrons in the nucleus of two elements is same. So we have two elements. Now let us take an example. It's always best if you study through example. Now hydrogen 1,3 tritium. Now this is an isotope of hydrogen. Not all of the hydrogen atoms are like this. One isotope is this. Now, so what is the here? Here Z is 1. Atomic number is 1. So there is 1 proton. And mass number is 3. Means number of proton plus neutron is 3. So how many neutrons are there? 3 minus 1. 2 neutrons. And in case of a helium, there is one case, helium 2,4. That is, number of protons is 2. Mass number is 4. So number of neutrons will be 4 minus 2 equals 2. So if you see, in these two isotopes, in this particular isotope of hydrogen and this particular isotope of helium, atomic number is different, mass number is different, but number of neutron is same in both cases. Here also number of neutron is 2 and here also number of neutron is 2. So this particular isotope of hydrogen is an isotone of this particular isotope of helium. You cannot say that helium is an isotone of hydrogen. Not all the atoms of helium are an isotope isotone of hydrogen. Only this particular type of hydrogen atom is an isotone of this particular type of helium atom. So this was your very basic of internal structure of your nucleus. Nuclei, that is nothing but plural form of nucleus. So from the next class, we will talk about nucleus in a little more detail, which will be a little more advanced than this basic stuff.